Good evening. I'm here with Eric from Little Big Connection, a SaaS platform provider. Hi, Eric. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me here.
You're welcome. Could you tell us a bit more about Little Big Connection?
Sure. Yeah, Little Big Connection is a SaaS platform that was created 8 years ago. Started from a French guy that had this idea that the world was changing in terms of total workforce management. And so the idea was to somehow connect the littles with the bigs. That's the pitch for the basic. Then we had this idea to be and to give to the users this platform so they can actually try to reach big customers, also have these kind of nice missions or nice challenges, and that's the way we're growing now.
That sounds great. As this event shows, we all love a good challenge. Can you tell us about the founders of the company, a bit more information about Little Big Connection and those you work with?
Yeah, sure. Actually, we started with Julien Clouet, like I said, 8 years ago. He started with one other guy. Then he started to have more people joining him. Then in 2015, we had this opportunity to join the group Mantou. The idea was to somehow join other brands in the group and to start building something even bigger than what we had in mind. I joined the company 1 year ago, and then we were 100 people when I joined. Today we are 200 people, and we're aiming at being more this year.
Oh, cool. It sounds a bit like Scaleway, which has grown quite rapidly recently.
That's why we're connecting together.
Seems like a good match. And how's it going with rapid growth? It must be really exciting to be part of something that's moving forward and that's evolving.
That's exactly the thing that it's somehow making us grow or making us even being happy to go to work every day. Well, not going to work now because we had this pandemic, but still we are happy because we are actually building a story or even writing a story. That's the way we say things to the newcomers in the company. It's always exciting to create and to be part of this story. I know that 8 years is a lot for some, but still we are reinventing ourselves every day, which means that any newcomer is part of the story and not somehow being in the story and not just being have the opportunity to write the story.
And I think that's also a really good mindset to have, to be able to progress and evolve and to grow if you are able to question yourself and to make these decisions. I think that's really important for a company, actually.
Yeah. That's, like you said, it's really important to have this mindset, knowing that we started with a business company, now we're turning ourselves to be more a product company, but we never forget about the business. So the idea is to connecting every challenge we have in mind. And we also, it's a bit like Scaleway, you're starting to create this product, making him grow and starting testing things, then making sure that it's okay, then moving to something else. But at the end, it's just creating an ecosystem like you're doing in Scaleway now.
Yeah, that's exactly true. And you mentioned products. So could you tell us all a bit more about the products that you use and that you make?
Yeah, actually, we have this platform, which is a big one. I mean, we can split it into, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 products on their own, but still it's just one product that we're offering to our customers. But we also have other products in mind that we are working on now with the AI and this kind of thing. So that's why with Scaleway, we have more or less the same story, and we're following ourselves.
Cool. And do you use Kubernetes? As you know, this is a Kubernetes-focused event. So
I say no.
Never
of course,
say never.
No, of course. We started using Kubernetes a couple of months ago. Well, let's say 1 year ago, and it started with this fancy thing where you're like, well, everybody has to work with Kubernetes. But at the end, we just waited a bit because we wanted to be sure that it's the perfect move to make because it has a cost. But as these kind of products, at the end, you can earn a lot specifically for your platform and for the stability of your platform. That's what we were aiming at, making sure that this kind of move will bring us the stability, the way to scale up, because that's kind of the challenge now. You have to grow, and the more customers you have, the more you have to scale quickly. So that was the kind of challenge we wanted to achieve by the move to Kubernetes.
Okay. And would you have any tips for the participants of the Breakathon for their use of Kubernetes? And I don't know if you saw, but there were also some SaaS challenges. There was a whole SaaS topic. So I don't know if you had a look at those or if you have any pieces of advice for those listening in.
Yeah, I mean, actually, there's two things. There's the Kubernetes thing and the SaaS thing. Regarding Kubernetes, what I can say to people is that they have to make sure that they are not doing this on a fancy way, meaning that it's not because everybody's doing Kubernetes that actually the technology will be the one you need. So really think about what you want to do, because Kubernetes actually is a huge thing, meaning everybody is saying that, yeah, it's easy, you just have to plug and play, that's it. But sometimes it's more plug and pray, you know? So the idea is really to make sure that when you do that, you think about what you want to achieve, meaning that what will be the benefits for moving to Kubernetes, and also choose the partner you want to do that with. Because doing Kubernetes, once again, you can do it on your own, you know. You can have a bunch of people working on that, so it seems to be easy, but you have to think about the fact that it needs to be up. I mean, up and running almost 24/7, which is the challenge, actually. It's not using Kubernetes the challenge, it's making sure that the technology or the way you use Kubernetes will bring the benefits you want. And regarding the SaaS, the user experience is the most important thing you have to think when you work on a SaaS platform. Because actually, if the user is not willing to use the platform, poof.
That's a very good point. And do you have any anecdotes that you'd like to share, maybe about Kubernetes? That would be something funny, perhaps?
Yeah, actually, that's what I was saying is just about this kind of anecdotes. You know, at the beginning, we have the guy that was kind of, we need to move to Kubernetes. Okay, do it. Then he started to do his things on his own, you know, trying to set up Kubernetes on his own and everything. And then he started to say, well, I don't know if we're going to make it. Why? Everybody's doing it. Why are you not able to do it? And it turns out that actually the pain was really to make sure that it's not just a standalone instance or something like, you know, like a POC. And at the end, you start to plug the thing or just switch on the thing, and poof, nothing is working. So that was the real challenge, and the real anecdote is making sure at the beginning having only one person working on that. So when you do that, once again, be sure that you work as a team and that you involve everybody, because the other thing is that this kind of project is usually seen as a tech project, you know. Kubernetes, yes, it's an IT thing. You don't care. Take your budget, do whatever you want. But when you have the whole company behind you and making the project with you, just by making sure that they understand what you're doing, by making sure that they won't put pressure in you, at the end, it's going to be a success. So really, Kubernetes is a nice thing. I mean, I'm convinced now. I think I was one of the guys that was not convinced in the beginning. I'm the one from the early ages, you know. So I was not convinced at all, but after working with it, after seeing what we can do with it, and especially now that I have a bit of experience on the choices I have to make, I'm convinced that it's a good move to do.
Well, thank you so much for that anecdote. I'm sure that lots of our participants today have also witnessed similar things, and I think it's really important what you said about teamwork, because the challenges today have been taken on by teams of 3 to 5 participants. So I hope that they've also had this experience of how great it can be to be there as a team. And do you have any last words before we let you go?
Well, actually, that's the team spirit. I mean, that's one of the things that is really important, even on this kind of event, where usually you think that doing things on your own will make you go faster. But at the end, the idea is not to go faster, it's to go far, more far, things like that. It's really to make sure that you aim at reaching your goal. And when you work as a team, you create the spirit, and then you push each other to go even more far than you think.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being here with us. And we're going to take a short break now. We'll be back in 30 minutes in order to close the competition and to have a bit of fun together before we start to look at announcing the winners of the Breakathon. Thank you.